Hey, what's going on, guys? For this installment of Kotobukiya Month, we're diving into the Super Robot Wars line of Kotobukiya kits from Super Robot Wars OG line. This is the Sladegelmir. I think that's how the name is pronounced. I've never played the game and I've never had any real experience with this robot, but this kit was sent to me a while back by a friend of mine in the States. So thank you, Alex, for that. And it's a pretty weird and wild design. Definitely not the sort of thing that I probably would have picked out on my own, but I think it should be pretty interesting to build because it's exactly that. It's not the kind of thing that I probably would have picked out, chosen for myself. But I think it's always good to try something new and different, and that can sometimes lead you to like some new things. So I'm gonna check this kit out. It's pretty crazy. Just to at least familiarize myself with this robot a little bit, I did watch a couple of YouTube videos of gameplay to see this, and it has some pretty wild attacks that it does with its different things here, with a giant sword and these big, huge drill bit things that attach onto his hands, and he can like shoot his hands off like rocket fists with drills on it and everything. Pretty wild. So I'm not sure when this kit came out, but I think this is a little bit older one. This would be number 32 in the Super Robot Wars lineup. On the side of the box here, you can see how the kit is going to look all painted up front and back. It's pretty colorful design and definitely has some kind of like bird aesthetic there with the kind of wing looking shoulders and obviously very beak-like looking head there as well. And then it has some giant feet, which are also kind of bird-like with the big like talon bits on there. And that giant sword. I'm not sure how big this kit is going to be. This is actually non-scale, but I think this is saying here that the sword is 370 millimeters, so 37 centimeters long, which is pretty long. The overall kit in general, though, I'm guessing is maybe going to be around the size of like a 1/100 scale Gundam kit, I'm going to guess. But we'll see in the review, of course. Here's a picture of how it's going to look just straight out of the box without any painting or anything done with it. As you can see, it's missing some of the details, like the black part, like the twisting around the drill bit, but for the most part a lot of the colors are represented there, which is pretty nice. Around on the other side, an advertisement here for some other designs in the lineup. I have actually reviewed the Valchion before. I reviewed that probably about a year or so ago, so you can check that review out if you're interested. This kit goes for 4,800 yen, so not too bad. As you can see, it's kind of the same size box as something similar to like the Gym Sniper 2, which was 4,500 yen if my memory serves, and so it should be, I think, pretty good pricing. I think the Super Robot Wars are usually pretty reasonably priced from my experience of the ones that I've checked out, and pretty nicely detailed, of course, Kotobukiya style. But again, I think this is a little bit of an older one, so it may not be up to like the same quality as some of Kotobukiya's newer kits, but still it should be pretty interesting, pretty sharp. I can see there is a little bit of pre-painting on that part as well, so it will have that. Let's check out the manual here. I'm just looking quickly. It looks like there's no water slides for anything, unfortunately, but I don't think it really needs anything except for maybe if it came with a water slide for this marking here on the front, but I would guess probably not. But anyway, on the manual here, a nice photograph of a painted sample of the kit, so you can use that for reference. Also here on the back, just some more information. It's all in Japanese. But you can see that they're detailed about the head, the drill. So there's the drill arm. So it looks like they can come off and you can attach the drill onto the front of there. It didn't show that on the outside of the box, so I was wondering if it could do that or not, but it looks like you can. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to like attach those onto an action base or something to have them like flying out on their own. But there's the whole robot, the giant sword, and then a couple more pictures of that down there at the bottom. On the inside, this is kind of interesting. The parts list is it's a separate piece of paper on its own, but we can put that to the side. And so the manual just starts off straight away, just right into the construction. So you're building what looks like to be like the shoulder parts first, and then the arms, and then the legs, and then the body, and then maybe the head. Yeah, the head and the body. Center fold here, we've got a whole bunch of really cool stuff. You can see some artwork there, which looks pretty crazy. Front and back artwork there. A little bit of line art over here for the head and the drill arms. That, I guess, would be the pilot. Again, don't really know anything too much really about this. Color guide over here on the side. And that's all in Japanese, but you can match the colors if you want. It's pretty standard with color, like red, blue, white, black for the most part, or gold. And then the drill parts and the giant sword, and then just putting everything together. And then a little bit about how to pose it and how to switch out the parts to make the drill arms. So pretty cool. Let's check out the runners. Alright, so again, no waterslide decals and no stickers either, so we can just get right into the polycaps here. We've got just runner PC, a bunch of polycaps here in black, and we've got two of this runner actually. Runner A is a bunch of parts here in white, and there's some pretty nice detail on there, and we can also see our glimpse of our first couple of pre-painted parts with this kit. That would be these two parts here, both for the face or head, I would guess. They both have some black on there, and then this one also has some very light green there for the eyes as well, so that's pretty cool. Runner B also in white, and then we've got two of this B runner. Runner C is in black, and as you can see, we've got a whole bunch of parts there for hand options. It looks like we're maybe going to have holding hands, open hands, and closed fists, and then some parts also for the torso and a few other bits and bobs everywhere. Runner D is the largest runner of the kit, and it's just a whole bunch more black parts. Looks like probably for the arms and the legs, all of that stuff, because we've got two of this D runner. Runner E is just in blue, and we once again have some pre-painting for this part here for the end of the toe. That's just in a really light blue, whereas everything else is just in a kind of standard blue color. And we've got two of this E runner as well. Runner F is in this really light yellowish color, not as in like bright yellow or gold or anything, so it's a pretty interesting color. You can see more pre-painting here with some blue and black to fill in the part there for the design on the front of the waist section. And then runner G is the rest of our light yellow parts here, with the parts for the shoulders and bits for that. If you were thinking you wanted to paint these in gold and you thought we could just maybe just spray this whole thing in gold and then cut the parts out, unfortunately none of this is undergated, so just to answer that question for any of you guys were wondering about that. And we've got two of this G runner. And then we've got runners H1 and H2, and while of course they look pretty identical, you can see the screw is actually backwards on them, so you will have to pay attention to which one is which. And then runner I as well, also in red, just for a bunch of little detail parts here. And we've got two of the I runner. And then runner J is in a kind of molded, injected silver, so that should be pretty nice. It looks like these are probably the knee joints, I think, and then obviously the big, long, huge blade. And then runner K is back in black for a few little parts here in ABS plastic. And we do have two of these as well. And then lastly, once again, in red, we have runner L for a few more pieces on there, most notably, obviously, the handle of the giant sword. So there is the Sladegelmir. Again, a pretty interesting design for sure. Not something that I would normally be into, but I'm really actually kind of excited to get this put together because it's just so unique and different. So if you guys have ever built this, let me know what you think about this or any other Super Robot Wars kits. What do you think about them? There's some pretty crazy ones. Some of them are really wild like this. Some of them look like they could basically be something out of a Gundam series. So they kind of run the gamut there in terms of the strangeness of their designs for us Gundam builders normally. So that is it for the unboxing. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. Of course, any other like further background knowledge or anything you guys want to share about the design in the comment section, that's always appreciated. And I'll see you guys coming up in the review. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.